back. Marianne in Silverdale, Washington. Hey, Marianne, you are on the air. What's on your mind today?
Hi, Tom. Thanks. Just a brief comment about the French, defending their right to flirt.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a big difference between that and the oppressive demands of sexual favors, even just not physically, but just, it gets in the way of business, and when it's not reciprocated, I think it's part of our American culture of violence. So maybe it will go over too far, but I think it's well needed. I'm part of the Me Too supporters too.
Yeah, me too. I would add that there's a third category too that we need to acknowledge, and that is broadly I'd call it the Al Franken category, which is he wasn't trying to get any of those women into bed. He wasn't doing a Harvey Weinstein at all, and he wasn't propositioning them. It was none of the above, and yet he went down for that. So.
Right. He was, the culture at the time allowed for that kind of comedy, and it doesn't now.
Correct.
And so I agree. But what I called about was that last night I heard Daniel Ellsberg speak in Seattle, and I plan to go see the movie The Post here on the 12th. But he was informing the crowd again about the dangers of nuclear war and nuclear winters and how we will all starve to death and how we are at a critical moment as not since the Cuban crisis in '62. And it was all pretty depressing. So I'm wondering what happened, to that bill requiring more of Congress to share the authority to launch a nuclear bomb. And if it was unable to be voted upon, is there any movement today, since this week every broadcast, everyone is talking about the inability of the president to serve, and what is anyone doing about it to remove him, starting the 25th Amendment procedures to oust him?
Yeah, the 25th Amendment might be even more of a long shot than impeachment, and impeachment is, I think, a real long shot because of Fox News and right-wing hate radio. But we'll see. With regard broadly to the issue of nuclear to your specific question, legislation. There has been legislation introduced into the House of Representatives. There has been legislation introduced into the Senate. And there's several different pieces of legislation that have been introduced by different members that would distribute, shall we say, the power of the president to start a nuclear war. The problem is that Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan will not allow any kind of vote or even a serious discussion of any of these kinds of legislation. As long as the Republicans control the House and Senate, they are not going to allow anything that might be viewed as diminishing the power of Donald Trump. So there we are, Marianne.
When these two leaders are holding the whole world hostage under their nuclear bombs, is short of pitchforks on the White House, is there nothing we can do?
If today you contact 3 friends and make sure that they are all registered to vote and that they know that the Republicans are suppressing votes, so they need to double-check their voter registration, and you do that every day, and if everybody listening to this program did that, we would reach millions and millions of people, and we need a critical mass. Elections are being won by 50 and 60% of the vote, of the potential vote, with turnout of 50 or 60%, and we need to get it up to 70, 80, 90%. We need to get people engaged, and that's how we do it. Marianne, thank you for the call. Excellent question. We'll be right back.